So today is a little bit of an experiment. There's going to be a couple little mistakes here and there, but overall I get there. All right, these are broad beans, also called fava beans. If you want to do a Silence of the Lamb imitation, take your time. In Mexico, they are called haba beans. So, or haba. Anyway, so these are available dry. This is a 1 pound package, 500 grams, a little bit over a pound. And these are basically under $1. So I think these were like 17, 18 pesos. So anyway, these are high in nutrients, really good for you. They stink to high heaven. So I'm going to blanch these after I wash them about 3 or 4 times. So I've soaked these overnight, and you can tell they've expanded quite a bit. So, I mean, they double in size. And they have this dark little bit, I guess it's from the original shell, or it's part of the structure of it. But when I remove those, they don't smell as bad. So I'm going to go through these, pull out those dark bits, and then we're going to blanch these. And then from there, we're going to take it and roast them. The goal here is a peanut butter substitute. Once these are roasted, they take on the flavor of sort of not quite a peanut is per se, but they have a cashew flavor or a cashew texture to them that when roasted actually works pretty good. So I've done this a couple times before. It's the first time filming it, and we will get this going. All right, and because I want to roast these, I'm not going to cook these down into a paste. I just want to get them somewhat cooked halfway through, and then we're going. They roast a little bit better and a little bit more evenly if we do that as just a parboil. Sure. All right, so these have been going for about 10 minutes maybe. I don't want to cook them. I don't want to turn them into mush. I just want to get some of that funk off of them. And I'm going to pour it into this container here. Drain. Let these cool. All right, so I've cleaned these up. They're not too bad now. There's still a little bit of the dark spots here and there, but overall, they're pretty clean now. And later, when we're blending them up, I'm going to use some toasted sesame seed oil. So, just to enhance that roasted flavor. For this stage, I'm just using a regular vegetable oil. You can use whatever you like. Last time I did this, I used grapeseed oil, but that's what I got on hand now. Now, if you wanted just to roast these off and then sprinkle them with salt, then they could be like a regular nut. So these are roasting pretty nice. They are still soft, but they're not cooked all the way dry. We want some moisture in the final result. So I'm going to stop these here. And just one thing, I put a little bit of salt on these, and right now, they have a decent flavor. They don't need much. Maybe if you wanted to put some garlic powder on them, chili powder, gochujara. I'm not sure you can dry roast these. Broad beans only have like 1 gram of fat per 100 grams. They're really low in fat. That's why I added the oil. Food processor. So I'm going to use a ½ cup of sesame oil. This is the toasted. It should be enough. Not quite. ½ cup. About a teaspoon. And a little bit of sugar. Okay, this is future me. I'm going to pop in here for a minute. Since these have been roasted and they're really crispy now, these will tear up your mixer, your food processor, and start to scar the interior if it's plastic. If you have a glass mixer bowl or carafe or whatever it's called, that is going to serve you better. I will take it next time and then soak the nuts in the oil for a period of time to let them hydrate a little bit, and then they can soften up and still have that roasted flavor. Yeah, so there's a reason that there are dedicated machines for making peanut butter, because it is taxing on the machine. My old hand tabletop grinder, it was my grandmother's, has a nut butter disc because it was something that needed a cast iron machine to do. Anyway, it's something to consider. If you soak these, it gets more to the consistency of like hummus. I prefer a thicker peanut butter, but it will do in a pinch. Really thick. It's definitely at the chunky stage here. So any pretense of being healthy is gone. All right, so the problem I started to encounter was that my blender food processor combo was not up to the task. If you have a Vitamix or something along those lines, it would be better. The Ninja's a good mixer, but it started off with too dry of a mix. I needed to do a little bit more liquid in it, hydrate the Fava beans a little bit more before I started mixing them. The mixer actually shut down. It overheated and shut down for a little while. All right, that took incredibly long to get to this stage. Just so you know, for those keeping up at home, this was actually my 3rd attempt to get to this stage. It works. It's not pretty, but I get there. Anyway, now it's time for some cookies. All right, so I have my Fava. This is the Fava butter. 1 cup of sugar. 1 egg. My Fava butter. mix this together till it's smooth. Okay, so far that looks pretty decent. If they stay in that shape and blob all over the place, that should turn out good. Because I've already tested the baking of this. It's just the consistency I didn't like. So the flavor's there. All right, these stuck a little bit. I had to work them off the pan. They actually burned a little bit because my oven went hot. But they kept their shape. So I'm going to do some parchment paper in the next batch and see if it helps. So they are a little bit quicker to cook. All right, we'll see how that goes. Okay, these look good. A little dark on the bottom still. Now, my oven was running a little bit hot, so the bottoms got a little bit dark. But overall, it's a good experiment to try. They're tasty. There's a little bit of improvement to be made in the hydration of them, so they don't mess up the blender. But other than that, it's worth making. It tastes really good. If you give these a try or have something that you make that's similar, please let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, thank you for watching, and hasta.